Hello all you amazing and wonderful people, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be starting a new series, playing Final Fantasy VII, the remake. So with that being said, this is probably my second favorite Final Fantasy. My first being Final Fantasy X. For some reason, that game just more nostalgic to me, more put together. I like turn-based a little bit in that aspect of that game anyway. I have played the original Final Fantasy VII. It is a pretty fun game, but I really like the combat style in this game. So with that being said, I do intend on trying to achieve 100%, try to grab all the items that we possibly can, all the treasures, get all the achievements, and things like that. With that being said, in order to obtain all the achievements in this game, you have to at least beat it 2 or 3 times. There's some things you can only get during one playthrough, and you have to do that 2 or 3 times. But with that being said, let's just jump right into it and get into the game. So we're going to go ahead and watch all the cutscenes. If that's not something you're into, maybe move on to the next area, or I'll have it cut to where we start playing. I'll put a timestamp down below. But with that being said, let's jump right into it. We're going to go ahead and play on normal, and I'll see you guys on the other side.
Get down here, Merc.
Alright, and just like that, we get to see a few of the main characters of the story. They don't really go into detail yet, but basically you're playing Cloud, and you only get to play Cloud for a little bit, and then it's going to go through a bunch of tutorials on how to do the combat. The combat is way different in this Final Fantasy compared to, I want to say some of the more recent ones are probably pretty similar, but it's not turn-based anymore. So if you haven't played like anything after, I want to say like 12 or 13, where they pretty much did away with the turn-based system, it'll probably be completely new to you. So with that being said, it takes you through a tutorial.
Who goes there?
And the only way to do that is to get into battle. Alright, so as it says, use X to attack or square if you're on PlayStation. And then if you hold X or square, it'll do a better attack. So basically, let's just go in, do that. And once you get the, hold the circle button or square button, it'll do a AoE attack.
Hands where I can see 'em.
Have fun.
It's pretty much the same here. It tells you a little bit more. It tells you about the ATB gauge. Basically, it's an action gauge. Once you fill that up, it lets you do other attacks and special attacks like that. So let's just go ahead and fill up the gauge. Show you what we mean. Once you fill the gauge up, you'll get another little thing here. It tells you to press A. So once you press A, the cool thing about pressing A, kind of slows down time while you're selecting your ability, and then you get to select the ability. So fortunately we missed, but you do get to do special attacks.
That it?
Now it's going to explain the main menu and the map. If you press start or the little menu button, it takes you to the main menu. If you press select or the, I forget what that button's called in PlayStation, but if you press select, it takes you to the map. So, and this pretty much tells you whenever the arrow icons appear, your character will move for you. So, just like so.
Drop the weapon.
You got this.
Yeah, what he said.
More fights. Basically, it just tells you how to guard. Successful guards reduces the amount of damage suffered, but also charges your ATB gauge. So that's pretty good to know. So if we go ahead and guard, let's see how much it fills the gauge.
Try harder.
It does fill pretty good, but I wouldn't say it fills it a lot. So it's better off probably just attacking.
Nope.
Go ahead and use our spell. Go focus thrust this time. And there we go.
Let's go.
Pretty easy fights. So like I said, we're going to try to get all the treasures that we can. Can't promise I'll get every single one. I'll try to get all of them. So I know there's a lot in this game, so not 100% sure if it counts towards your 100% progress, but we will be getting all the achievements at the end of the day. So that's really all that matters, right? So let's go ahead and grab this stuff. And of course, some of the more important treasures we're obviously going to get, but we'll have to cross that bridge once we get there. For the most part, most of the treasures are pretty small and meaningless.
He's got balls, this, what was his name again?
Cloud Strife.
Right.
And he isn't a soldier anymore. Still, he's a professional, unlike the rest of us. I'm glad to have him.
This is a one-time gig. When it's done, we're done.
You'll keep us safe, right, Cloud?
Right.
Joy to look at, too.
Go ahead and talk to Barrett.
Nothing that people
Hard ass that we all wanted.
Guess I'm not on the same page as people.
I'd say you're not even reading the same book.
Enough. We're done here.
or even the same.
Come on, nobody do something this crazy just for money. They may not think you're a true believer, but you know what I think?
Not interested.
What?
Wedge. You better be worth the money, Merc. Every last gil.
And just like that, we're already butting heads with everybody. Let's go! Alright, so this basically says if you press in the right analog stick, you can lock on to targets. If you press the right analog stick again, you can unlock. And then if you are locked onto a target, you can use the left or right to switch between multiple targets, or you can use the analog stick to switch between targets. Very useful when you're trying to attack specific targets.
Guess you're first.
Go ahead and use focus thrust. And staggered. And dead.
That it?
Easy fight there. Go over here is the treasure chest. Loot that up. Pretty sure that's the only treasure chest in this area. Go for a focus thrust again. The reason I like focus thrust, it staggers the enemy more likely.
Was never in doubt.
There we go. I like how you can still move the camera even if they're focused on something. So mainly this first entire part is basically just a tutorial. Does kind of get repetitive, especially when you have to do the game more than once or twice, but after the first playthrough, well, you can skip it now. After the first playthrough, I recommend you skip cutscenes. If you're playing hard, remember to take care of all those boxes.
Not so fast. We've got company.
Job's a job.
There we go. Pretty easy fight.
Let's go.
And once again, once you see the arrow, it'll move the character for you. You cannot use those arrows during combat.
Get ready. It's over. No holding back. See ya.
And done for. Another treasure chest. So yeah, the remake is different, but
Come on, Cloud.
there's a lot I like about it, and there's a lot of stuff that's different than the original. So still fun, very fun game to play. Graphics look pretty great for what they are, so.
Soldiers may attack on command, but I hear they make good guard dogs too. Bet you've seen a few reactors. So how do we get to the bridge above Mako storage? Ain't holding out on me, are you? Stamp scared to bite the hand that fed him? Or is he a loyal little doggy? Have it your way, Mutt. We can do this with you, or we can do this without you.
Different reactor, different layout. Depends when it was built. Never seen one like this, but I'll manage.
Egos conflicting.
Biggs will have the door open soon.
In 3, 2, damn, I'm good.
There we go.
Who's there? Door! Well, wait!
No help.
That's my line.
Luckily, these guys are pretty easy. Every character has a unique ability, which you can activate with the Y button. So this is where they're explaining the difference between balance mode and Punisher mode. Punisher mode does more damage. So it doesn't seem... I think balance mode is a little bit quicker. But yeah, it's still fun. So let's go ahead and try it out. Punisher mode, Cloud can move more slowly, but unleashes more powerful attacks. So that's basically what I just said, but let's go ahead into it.
That's that.
And we wrecked everybody.
We're back.
Then let's move.
He always knows just what to say.
Cut it out.
Don't think there's any loot in here. Just go ahead and talk to Jesse here.
I know someone who can get us the passcodes. Pity no one else at command will talk to us, but what can you do? And we're good.
Careful in there. I got this place covered.
Don't forget the loot.
Looks like the elevator's on another floor. Mind pushing that button?
Push buttons. Do it.
So,
I like how there's only one button.
right? It's not really my business, but are you guys close?
Cloud! Are you ignoring me?
Tifa and I.
These sewer rats appear to call themselves Avalanche, sir. We are currently investigating whether they belong to the same group that made the attempt on your life. Rest assured, our inquiries will not take much longer. This pump's sole purpose is to drain the planet dry. While you sleep, while you eat, while you shit, it's here sucking up Mako. It doesn't rest, and it doesn't care. You do realize what Mako is, don't you? Mako is the lifeblood of our world. The planet bleeds green like you and me bleed red. The hell you think's gonna happen when it's all gone, huh? Answer me! You gonna stand there and pretend you can't hear the planet crying out in pain? I know you can!
You really hear that?
Damn straight I do!
Get help.
Say that again!
I'd worry less about the planet and more about the next 5 seconds. Save the screaming for later.
Our lives are on the line now. You listening, Merc? One false move. happens.
Well, so much for having Cloud do all the fighting. There are some places a sword just can't reach. Just bear with him for me, would you?
Yeah.
Should have asked for more money.
Alright, and just like that, they pretty much let you know that swords can't reach everything. So, pretty much every character can cast spells, so that's always a plus. But as you can see, you can also use Barret, who has ranged weapons. Kind of like in Final Fantasy X, where Wakka had the Blitz Ball and can pretty much attack anything. It's kind of the same concept here. So we can go ahead and switch to Barret by pressing left or right. You can lock on, and you can shoot. Now he has a overcharge ability, which allows him to attack a little bit stronger. He also has Thunder. And he can also shoot, as I said before. And just like that, it's over. It pretty much tells you the order here where you can switch. You can also use left and right trigger. You use other people's abilities even when you are not selecting or not using that current character. Very good to know, especially in harder fights or boss fights. You need certain things to happen.
All done.
Head down here.
The laser security.
Follow Jesse a little bit.
Those things will hurt more than your pride if you're careless. They'll cut you down to size and then some. But I'm guessing you've done this kind of thing before.
Yeah. Figure out the timing of the lasers. Then make a move when they cycle off.
Exactly. I'll go first.
So this is kind of like a puzzle maze. I mean, it's fairly simple. All you gotta do is make sure you're running through when the lasers are not active. It's that simple. Also tells you that you can run using RB, and it'll become very useful. So go ahead and make sure you're doing that. Again, run when they're not active. Always like to double check, make sure that there's no hidden treasures.
Okay, let's see what's up next.
Come down here, there's more lasers.
Come on then. Pretty easy, right? You okay?
I'm just gonna run through them for whatever reason.
Pay more attention.
Those seem to have a spurt of 3 blasts in a row.
Well, you got that.
Didn't do a whole lot of damage though, so it is what it is.
Look. They don't call those
We
things
come down here, it's kind of like a
wipe out a whole
tougher enemy. I wouldn't say it's a mini boss, but it's a tougher enemy. But before we do that, there's another treasure. Alright, let's go ahead and take care of this guy. This guy can be pretty easy depending on how you handle him.
That hunk of junk is a heavy weapons platform. If we rush in, we die.
Is that right?
Need to hit it with magic. That should give us an opening.
Hitting enemies with certain attacks or dealing large amounts of damage will temporarily knock them off balance, and pressured will appear under their gauge. When this happens, pelt them with spells and abilities to quickly fill their stagger gauge under their life bar. Once it is full, you can stagger them. Gauge fills faster depending on the abilities and magic used, as well as the foe's vulnerabilities. Find the most effective attack and quickly finish off the enemy. I mean, I feel like we kind of all already know this. Go ahead and use Focus Thrust. So the reason I like Focus Thrust, if you look down the bottom left, significantly increases stagger. Enemies who are staggered are defenseless and take more damage. Using unique abilities on a staggered foe will quickly boost your ATB gauge. Boost your ATB gauge quickly so you can unleash more abilities and spells.
Now Now's our chance. Go.
Go ahead and use thunder.
I'm gonna enjoy this.
See ya.
And there we go. Pretty easy fight. Go ahead and use a potion quick. Top ourselves off.
Doesn't go into the 20s.
What the hell you talking about? I mean your age, not your goddamn rank. Though for all I know, a soldier's rank.
Let's go.
Guess that make you a 1-year.
All right, so we are almost at the bottom of the reactor. And that is where we're heading.
That's our target, the reactor core. Gotta set the bomb at the bottom. Let's get down there.
So yeah, I really like how this game was put together. If it wasn't for Final Fantasy X, this would definitely be easily my favorite. There's just things about Final Fantasy X that just somehow resonate with me better. I really like the gameplay of this one more. It feels more interactive and less turn-basedy, which, don't get me wrong, I do enjoy a good turn-based RPG every now and then.
Capable hands.
But this one was just made very well, in my opinion. So let's keep it moving. We got some more fights to do, and we're almost at the bottom. So that's basically what our goal is. And once we get there, most Final Fantasy fans will probably know what's going to happen. We'll see once we get down there. Take care of those guys. We got a spell, Sentry Ray. Take care of that. Over. On to the next one. I think there's one more treasure chest down here and some more fights.
The pump would suck us back up.
Barrett making his own theme music. And what we're going to do is we're going to end this episode here. So, in this episode, we went through the entire tutorial, learned a few things about the Mako. Oh, I don't want to go down yet. Learned a few things about the Mako and how it is affecting the entire Earth and how the reactors are draining the power. And other than that, not too much lore just yet. But let's go ahead and end this episode here, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Take care.